What a fucking raw this was. A 4.75 out of 5 raw for me. Fueled off hate alone. Kevin Owens just package pile drive Sami Zayn to end raw. This was fucking awesome. An awesome match between CM Punk versus Sami Zayn. At the starting, it was like a normal match, but man, when that there were good moves like turning that bulldog into a sunset, into a blue thunder powerbomb. That ending sequence with Sammy doing the small package, then the Hilluva kick and everything. That was fucking awesome. It looked like they were like, we're going to check off all the boxes with Raw on all divisions. Like Scrap Daddy announced that AJ will be on Raw. That means that I think that AJ versus Logan feud is on for Mania. You had Braun show up there, and Braun was like, you don't really respect the Intercontinental Championship, like kind of like bringing real life into kayfabe, like complaints about Braun not being on Raw much, and that they're going to discuss business. Maybe we see Intercontinental title number one contenders match next week or something. We had EO versus Liv, and probably I will say overall the best match of the night. Like, what a fucking match, and the crowd was into it. I think if the plan is for Rhea versus EO at Mania, then I have no problem with the finish, because then that the finish is actually kind of awesome. But if it is not, then I'm going to be fucking pissed at it. Because earlier you had Rhea and EO backstage. EO was like, I'll see you at Mania, and Raquel and Liv attacked them. But I think this will probably lead to a last chance elimination chamber, a qualifying match with EO going to the chamber. Like the opening segment was good too. I think Jay was emotional. I really go, and the thing is, people like Jay. Like the whole crowd was chanting, "You deserve it," and all. His promo was really nothing. It was just, "I'm going to win the world championship." Yee. The Gunther part was really good. Gunther part was essentially like, I just beat you. Like, beating you does nothing for my legacy. Like, people think that I don't have control over my world championship, that I barely win. That's just a that's just a mirage. I have complete control. And you know what? Choose your options carefully, because if you choose me, I'm going to beat you every week. I'm going to keep beating you, and I'll give you a final beatdown at Mania, which will be like the worst. I really like Gunther is building this match. The build over 2 months, like Gunther essentially torturing Jay over choosing him. Like this will make the Gunther versus Jay match very appealable at Mania. So you had that also. You had Mysterio and Dragon Lee versus New Day. Dragon Lee really showed out. This match was fine and the crowd was really into it. The ending, Logan interfered, because it's going to be Logan and Ray next week for the Elimination Chamber qualifying match. So okay, that's fine. I just hope that if given a proper chance, a Mysterio Dragon Lee proper tag run can really be fireman. If they like give them a proper chance, I hope. I think what's going to happen is, now we are building Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods to take those titles of War Raiders probably. Speaking of the War Raiders had a backstage segment where they they praised JD, like he's a warrior, American American made interrupt them. They were like, you're a bunch of bitches, complimenting him and all. And he was like, okay, you want the smoke? Okay, fight us for the tag titles. I think that match is probably gonna happen next week. So you had that, and I really like Chad Gable's delivery. He was like, "I'm going to go off to another conquest to for to finally overcome my fear of the luchadors." I really like how Chad Gable was really funny. I Is he going to AAA? I think he's going to AAA. I think that is the goal. He also mentioned that he wants to see Ivy Nile as Intercontinental Champion and American Made as tag team champions when he gets back. Then you had Bailey and Laya Valkyria in the crowd, and they announced that Bailey and Laya Valkyria will face each other next week in the Elimination Chamber qualification match, which I think is fine. But I would have liked Lyra Valkyria to be involved more in her own title storylines. You could have easily added like a Ivy Nile versus Maxine 2 minute match where Maxine gets a little bit going on, but Ivy gets the win, and then next week, voila, you have an uh, Ivy versus Laya Valkyria match for the IC title. What I think is probably going to happen is next week Ivy is going to come in and she's going to cost Lyra the match, and or yeah, she's going to cost Lyra the match, and Bailey will go to Elimination Chamber. Maybe we see Roxanne also interfering, like setting their NXT things up. Maybe, let's see. Then you had, CM Punk had a pretty normal promo. I expected more from him. He was essentially like, I'm sad that I didn't win the Rumble, but both Roman and Seth didn't win. I would have expected more fire, but okay that he's focused on beating Sami Zayn. We also had the update on Roman, which was essentially that he's out till Elimination Chamber. I think what's gonna happen is like some Edward Takeshita also posted on Twitter that it is essentially that Shawn Michaels costing Undertaker his championship at Elimination Chamber. Probably Roman is gonna come up. He is not only going to spear Seth, he's going to spear Punk, and I think Cena wins and Cena goes on to Cody. I think that's what's gonna happen. You had Sami Zayn, backstage congratulating JJ. Was like, I didn't want to eliminate you, but Sami was like, okay, that's fine. And Karrion Kross was like, why are you being buddies with him? And Sami was like, don't interrupt me, or we are gonna have a problem. Then, then also we had, what else? I think I just encapsulated a lot of things, didn't I? Uh, yeah, you had the Penta match against Kaiser also, which was a good match. I really liked this match. There were a few spots where you could say he was a little bit botchy, but he was fine with it. And I think also that then after the match at Penta 1, Jackie Redmond was about to interview Penta, but then uh, Pete Dunne came out, and then Kaiser attacked him from behind and gave him Velveteen Dream's finisher, that reverse DDT. And what is I don't get what is going to happen now. Like Ray Phoenix is not released, so we are not going to getting Ray Phoenix to help him. Maybe Braun gets involved in this. I think Sheamus is going to get involved in this. Yeah, I just get it. Like not Braun, Sheamus, because Sheamus has history with both Pete Dunne and Ludwig Kaiser. And what I think is going to happen is Sheamus is going to save Penta. We'll have a tag match, and probably there will be a fatal four-way match. Penta, Kaiser, uh, Braun and Pete, Penta, Kaiser, Sheamus and Pete Dunne, and maybe we say AJ Styles also, because just after AJ Styles announcement we had Braun in that interview. Maybe we say AJ Styles there, maybe a fatal five-way happens, and maybe we see AJ win the match, and then have AJ versus Braun, and maybe Logan cost AJ that match. Then AJ again costs Logan at Elimination Chamber. The thing is, Logan is going to Elimination Chamber. No way Ray is winning. I think New Day is going to interfere and Logan is going to win that match. So that's what's going to happen, I think. And also, I think the New Day versus Mysterio's LW feud is going to continue a little bit longer, I think. I really like the ending, like that they're setting up. Like this is essentially like Io was so emotional, and now Rio was like, I didn't want to do this. Like Charlotte came out, she did her promo. Maybe she pivoted, but she was really good. It was kind of a jittery at first, but it looked like she either finally got the cue that okay, they're booing me, so just turn to an arrogant side, or maybe this was the plan all along, because they had the rich lady promos, they gave her the pyro, and I think this is a deliberate plan to like a a person who thinks they are a good guy, but they are a condescending, looking down upon other people, like arrogant heel essentially. And I think that's what Charlotte's character is going to be, and I think that is what her feud with Tiffany is going to be, because she kind of refused to go against Rhea because she was like, "You're still a kid because you're so emotional and talking about respect and all. I'll go to NXT to talk to Julia, which will be a great interaction." and she'll go to SmackDown also. And I think the plan for that story is that Charlotte is going to pick Tiffany because she thinks that she's an easy win at Mania. I think that is how you're going to turn Tiffy face in the feud. I just hope then Charlotte doesn't defeat Tiffany, because that will essentially go against the story that they're telling, that Charlotte goes against Tiffany because she thinks she's an easier opponent. But if she just beats her, she just proves the point and buries Tiffany. I just hope that does not happen. So that happened. What else am I missing? I think I have covered everything, essentially. I think I have covered everything. Also, that this was a fucking, like, Kevin Owens coming from behind, attacking a bloodied Kevin Owens, a Kevin Owens bruised, battered, attacking Sami Zayn and giving him a package pile driver. That was fucking amazing. And I think the plan is probably KO versus Sammy at Elimination Chamber, maybe in like a no disqualification or an unsanctioned match. You have Randy Orton return there, have Sammy win the match, and you have KO versus Randy at Mania. I think that's the plan. Many people may not like it because KO versus Randy, like, it can be a good match, but it not be better than KO versus Sammy. And KO versus Randy, maybe if Randy Orton is locked in, it can be really good. But let's see what happens next. And I hope Gunther gets some more defenses before his match at WrestleMania, and defenses against main guys. Like Seth Rollins essentially did a gaslighting promo on Sami Zayn. I liked this, but I hope that Seth would have had like just normal clothes and talking seriously. Like, I get the I got into the promo at the end when he was gaslighting Sami Zayn, when essentially he was saying you have to beat Punk. Like, it was just crazy that Seth is essentially dapping up Sami just because he hates CM Punk, just because he doesn't want CM Punk to be there. We are getting Seth versus Finn in a couple of weeks. That's going to be a good match if they give them time. Like, Finn essentially was against Dominic earlier in the night, was saying that you took my title match and my partner got injured. They was like, no, 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 nothing, and he got you an elimination chamber qualifying match and everything. First of all, kayfabe wise, what does Dominic have with Adam Pearce that Finn gets a qualifying match for the chamber? Like, that doesn't kind of make sense. But Liv and Raquel was essentially like, we are going to go for the chamber, you're going to win the elimination chamber qualifying match, and everything is going to be good. And that was it. And I enjoyed it. Like, this was really good. Like, Seth's gaslighting promo was essentially like, you're below his level, everything. Like, Sammy was just standing there, fuming, like, listening to him. And said, well, you gotta be, and the ending was very funny. He was like, let's go, Sammy, let's go, Sammy. Like, that was really funny. And the hate part, that it's a small ramp. Seth is going back, Punk's music hit, and they still want to fight each other. That was awesome. So a 4.75 out of 5 raw for me. If you like this type of content, like, share, and subscribe. If you don't, share it to those who do. My UPI ID link is in the description. Go follow me. It's Shabba that OKICSI. Donate any amount of money that you want to. It will help me a lot in making YouTube a permanent career option. My social media links, my Instagram and my Twitter link are in the description. Go follow me on that. So that was it for me today. So thank you. Goodbye. Alvida.